One cool thing about this fragrance hobby is kind of like the camaraderie of it, and the fact that if you have a couple buddies who are also into fragrances, you can really have a lot of fun talking about all of your discoveries and what you like and what you don't like, and it can just be kind of a cool thing to kind of bond together with. But there can also be a little bit of a competition when it comes to fragrances, because if you guys are out together, you want to be the best smelling guy, right? And if your buddy is also really into fragrances, you're kind of going to be going head to head there. And so today we have 7 fragrances that your friends aren't going to be wearing unless they are heavily, very strict followers of this channel, or they just have a lot of knowledge in the community. They may have an idea about these and they may pick them up from time to time. But these are kind of far out of the whole trend bubble, right? These are not in the mainstream fragrance consumption part of things right now. They just don't get a whole lot of coverage. So if you do want to stand out and you also kind of want to be a step ahead and smell even better than maybe what's currently being super popular right now, then you're going to want to check these out. Now, we'll provide links to all of these down below so you can get them at a really good price. We're keeping it relatively affordable here with this one. The overwhelming majority of these are going to fall on the cheaper end of things, and they're all designers. All right, let's go and start this one off with Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. So everyone knows Cool Water Eau de Toilette. Everyone has it. Everyone, or a lot of people, still do wear it. And at one point, just about every guy was probably wearing Cool Water EDT. So it's known about, right? But the Parfum version is one that is not going to have near the amount of reach. It's got vetiver, lemon, and pink pepper. I really like this version. I would take this over the Eau de Toilette any day, hands down. I would take this over the Eau de Parfum any day. And really, it's kind of my favorite flanker out of all of them that are out there, at least that you can get. The Parfum is really, really good stuff here. Kind of plays on that original DNA a little bit, but it has a lot more going on. More interesting, higher quality, more of a vibrance to it. Really nice for summertime as well. So if you're watching this now and it is summer where you happen to be living, like most of us here, but I know a lot of my guys are down in Australia as well, this is the time to be really picking something like this up and wearing it. So yeah, Cool Water Parfum. Next up, we have Valentino Womo Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. My little 50 milliliter bottle here. This is all that was available when this one was initially launched, and so I just had to go for it anyway. We've got apple, bourbon geranium, and tobacco leaf. So when this was initially launched, and I was looking at the note breakdown, I was excited for it. And even though I wasn't a fan of the original Born in Roma and Yellow Dream, this one here I ended up really liking a lot. Now, I actually do like the original. I should take that back. It's kind of Invictus Aqua leaning. I didn't at first. I do like it more now, but Yellow Dream was one that I didn't care for. So I was kind of up in the air with this one. But as I tried it, and you can watch my first impressions on camera, it impressed me in a good way. You do get that red apple note right off the rip, right? Very fruity and kind of sweet. Bourbon geranium, which is an interesting form of geranium. You do kind of get the sweetness, not necessarily too much of a booziness, but I can kind of see where that could allude to a boozy type of smell. And tobacco leaf, not full-on smoky tobacco, but more of a leafy variety. It's fresher, it's lighter. This still has overall kind of a warm weather theme to it. It's also the newest in the line, so because it's new, most people aren't going to be wearing this one. And it's actually unique for what it is. This is cool stuff to have around, and I encourage you to check this one out. Even if you haven't had luck with the others, this one is worth a shot. All right, going back to another cheapie here, I believe you can usually get this one for $25 or so. It's Hugo Boss Selection. I've always been a huge fan of this presentation. Very sleek, very minimal, but also modern and just kind of classy. The cap has this brushed finish to the top, which probably won't show up on the camera, but it just is a really nice, cool detail. Again, super sleek. If you don't like the look of this bottle, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's nothing special about it, but that's what I like. We've got musk, pink pepper, and grapefruit. The note breakdown also doesn't have anything that's like a wow factor to it, right? All very common notes in men's perfumery, but it's just that. It has just enough of kind of a different twist on a mint fragrance while still being easy to pull off, that it just kind of strikes the perfect middle ground. This doesn't really smell like anything else to me. It's kind of off in its own league of just having a little bit of a spicy kick up top with that grapefruit, but then also having a heavy amount of musk in the dry down, just making it clean and fresh. It's very wearable, it's very pleasant, and it's way better than I thought it was going to be. I think this would impress a lot of you guys. You know, it may look boring on paper, but for the price and everything else, I mean, it's really, really impressive stuff. Most guys aren't going to be gravitating towards something like this. It's not really hyped up, but this will set you ahead of the pack. Next up, we have Lacoste Match Point. This is going to be the Eau de Parfum. Citrus, patchouli, and vetiver are some of the main notes. I really like the EDT. I thought it was a solid release, and I think I like the Eau de Parfum better. And the reason why is because obviously it's going to be a little bit stronger and also just a little bit richer. There's a bit more body to this one, and I like that. Now, it's not to say that every fragrance needs to have more body and more punch to it, right? A lot of times a light, easygoing scent is the way to go, and that's how Match Point Eau de Toilette is. But this one just kind of takes it to that next level. It's more punchy, it packs more of like a impact to it when you first spray it on. It's really just, to me, more well-rounded, a little bit more, I don't know, interesting because of the additional notes that are in here, and also the fact that it has just more depth to it, right? It doesn't get lost on your skin and just kind of start to fade away and get light, right? This one just kind of packs a punch all the way through. Big help from that is the patchouli in here coming through relatively strong, just giving it this kind of slightly green and earthy depth to it that you really didn't get as much in the Eau de Toilette. To me, the Eau de Parfum is the way to go, and most guys out there, at least right now, probably aren't going to be wearing this all that much. It is the newest one of, you know, the line, of course, and it's a really, really good scent that a lot of people would overlook, but because you are a subscriber to this channel, or at least you should be, and you watch these videos, you'll know that this one here is really good stuff. Clean, fresh, wearable, nice compliment getter, great for spring and even summertime, really nice. Yet another cheapie. I don't remember for sure what this one goes for. It actually might be a little more expensive than I thought. $35, maybe $40, which depending on who you are, that could still be in the cheapie category. I kind of consider everything $40 and under for 100 mils to be kind of that, you know, cheapie category. Obviously the lower the better if you're on a budget, but still this one you can usually have for a pretty good price if you're shopping in the right places. It is Chic for Men by Carolina Herrera. So we've got watermelon, black pepper, and cinnamon. So this one actually smells a little bit like Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct, the EDT, and actually maybe even the EDP a little bit, or the Extreme rather. But it's still different. It's less tropical and melony and vacation smelling as something like First Instinct. There's more focus on, like, I don't know, the pepper or the cinnamon, some of the other warm notes in here. But in some ways, it does kind of give you a similar feel, or at least remind you a little bit of that Abercrombie & Fitch. I really like this one a lot. I mean, it's pretty simplistic. There's not a whole lot going on, but still, it's different than a lot of other things out there. Again, yeah, it has a little bit of a similarity to First Instinct, but it still kind of goes off in its own direction as well. You know, it's not a Dylan Blue, Sauvage Blue fragrance. It's not an aquatic Aqua de Jo themed fragrance. It's just something that isn't in the spotlight. This DNA is not something being thrown around all the time. And so it's one that is easily forgotten now because of the trends, and it's one where a lot of people may just not even know about it. They may not have ever thought to pick this one up. So this is kind of your chance to swoop in and wear something that most people probably aren't. Running down to the end here, we have Michael Kors Extreme Sky. So we've got cypress, ozonic notes, vetiver, and bergamot. So it's citrusy and it's airy and light and ozonic, and I really like it for that reason. Super wearable, super fresh. Summertime's the perfect time for this one. It's just refreshing. It has a little bit of a zinginess to it from kind of how the citrus is coming across. That grapefruit is kind of similar to that of something in light blue Forever, although pump the brakes, it's nowhere near that level of like zinginess and punchiness like in Forever, but that note does have a good amount of impact. It's just balanced out heavily by everything else going on, and it's more kind of in the middle instead of being at the forefront. And the bergamot in this also kind of balances out that grapefruit as well, and the bergamot's kind of a sweeter, tart bergamot. that also isn't too overpowering. You've got a lot of supporting notes in here, and it's one that is still kind of on its own, being relatively unique. It's not something that is, you know, completely brand new, but at the same time, it kind of fits in its own category as well, which I think is pretty cool. Very nice stuff. Relatively affordable, kind of in the mid-range, somewhere around in there, but well worth it. Presentation is nice, atomizer's nice, performance is good. All around, it's a really nice scent that most people just probably don't even think to try. Next up, we have one of the best John Varvatos releases within the past several years by far, and it is Artisan XX, or XX Artisan, I believe is the correct term there, the latter, at least according to the cap, right? Their 20th anniversary lineup here. This one has bitter orange and a heavy dose of vetiver. It's all about the vetiver, and that's why I like it, right? Anyone who knows the channel knows that I like vetiver. And if a fragrance is vetiver heavy, it's already getting a lot of points. Now, to be fair, it is its own vetiver fragrance. Like, it doesn't smell like Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver or Roja Parfum's vetiver or Guerlain's vetiver or any other big popular vetiver fragrance. It doesn't smell like any of those. It is its own unique take on vetiver. You may think it's impossible at this point, but it is. They proved it here with this one. And it's also affordable stuff. The bitter orange really brings it to the next level, and it ties it back into that Artisan line. A lot of the Artisans are known for using that orange, everything from the original into Artisan Pure. Probably, I think Artisan Black uses that. Most of the Artisans are using orange of some sort, or clementine or something. So it gives you that type of feel, but then focus on a nice, clean, soapy vetiver with a hint of a kind of smoky earthiness, but not too overboard. It is clean to the max. It is a great work scent, a great school scent, very classy. Quality is far above what you would expect for the price. I mean, it's very good. Performance is just in the middle range as per usual, but I can overlook that for the amount of quality and depth and just uniqueness that you get from this one for the price. I can guarantee you most guys out there aren't going to be wearing this one, and if you do, you will be way ahead of the game. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 7 fragrances that your friends probably aren't wearing. If you want to kind of take it to the next level, if you guys are all going out together and you don't want to smell like them, you don't want to risk wearing something that they may be wearing, you just kind of want to win that competition a little bit, smell unique and stand out, these are going to be for you. We'll provide links down below to discounters so you can get them at a price below retail. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.